it is noon, so I'll go ahead and ring the bell and we'll get started. All right, welcome everybody. Good to see everybody on here for our February 25th, 2021 Rotary meeting, Newport Rotary Club. Let's see, so we'll start out with the pledge. And Sonia, would you do the honors?
Happy to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, and indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, thank you, Sonia. Well done. Let's see, scanning here for guests. Do we have any guests today? I know we have our students of the month, which we'll introduce here in a few minutes. And a couple other guests that I'll introduce here in a minute, Braylon and Alexa. Any other guests? No? So I have a little bit of a Rotary moment to start things off with. Amy has mentioned a few times what a tough year this has been for high school kids, you know, socializing and all of the normal high school stuff has kind of been out the window this year with the COVID lockdown and school closures. So Braylon here, who's with us today, and Alexa have joined a group of fellow high school students, and they decided to kind of make lemonade out of lemons, I guess you could say. And they've started doing a weekly beach cleanup. I think yesterday, I think they do it every Wednesday. And yesterday they had about 8 students in total. And I know that I think Blair Thompson, Rob and Amy's daughter, was there too. And Rob and Amy have helped with getting rid of the garbage. So kudos to them for that. I guess it's a little bit of a way to get to socialize without really socializing, I guess. But anyway, I invited Braylon here to talk a little bit about what they're doing, and they're hoping for a little help from our club in the way of materials. They could use some buckets and scoops, I guess, and bags and that sort of thing. So welcome, Braylon and Alexa. I'll let you go ahead and talk a little bit about it, Braylon.
Hi, yeah, thank you. So I started See the Future at the end of last year. We've been going for 10 weeks now. We've collected over 650 pounds of trash so far. We've had a lot of people involved. I think our largest cleanup so far, we've had 14 people at. Yeah, it's like me, Alexa Saxton, Charlotte and Coco Gardner. There are all people involved. We are having some struggles though. We would like to minimize our use of plastic gloves and plastic bags so that we can remain more environmentally friendly and using things like reusable gloves and buckets. As well, we are having trouble sifting out microplastics from the sand. They're taking too long to just like pick them out. So we need to buy like sifts and stuff. And we were wondering if Rotary could help us fund some of those supplies so that we could be more successful.
All right, well, thanks, Braylon, and I'm sure we could find some help with that. I'll kick in $25, and anyone else that wants to, we can add to the fund, but I think he's looking for what, 200 or 300? Sounds like a great cause. And how many pounds total have you collected in the last 10 weeks?
We've collected about 659 pounds.
Wow, that is a lot of trash. Well, good job, and keep it up. You guys are doing a great thing here. And thanks for joining us today too.
I'll also tag on your donation there, Freddie. I'll match that $25.
Oh, thank you, Richard. Yeah, they're joining us from there. And Dave Heater, $25. Thanks, Dave. See, we're raising some good funds already for you guys.
Jim and I will also do the 25.
Wow, thank you.
You bet.
And we'll do 25.
Wow, I think we're about there. That's great. I see Guy raising his hand too.
This guy.
All right, well, that's great.
These students on here too, there's actually 2 groups in Newport, student groups that are picking up trash on a really regular basis. The other one is cleaning up Newport. And we haven't gotten Interact quite started, but I would love to see these students be a part of our Interact, and maybe this is something that they can all focus together, because I've talked to the other group about it as well. So Braylon and Alexa, maybe we can start talking about maybe an Interact group on campus at Newport High School, where maybe you guys are interested in focusing on the environment, and maybe that way we can join you guys together and come up with even bigger solutions, I guess is what I would say. And so I'm hoping to do that. And Braylon, I know, and Alexa, you know, Dustin Capri has been involved in that, right? You're interested in Interact, and Lola Jones. And so we need to get that going. And so look for us to contact you guys about possibly getting together to do something for Interact. So.
Yeah, that's a great point, Amy, and great idea. I think we could really, help further your goals to make some good things happen. And so thanks again for participating. And sounds like we're going to get you some gloves and equipment to help you out. So thanks again for joining us on your lunch hour from your virtual school day. So
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Talk to you soon. Thanks. So next on the agenda, we have a couple new Rotary members that I would like to induct today. I've got a little bit of a script here to go through. So fellow Rotarians, it's the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time, so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Today, I welcome to our ranks and admit to membership Brian Gardner and Gretchen Habner. Rotarians Brian and Gretchen, you have been elected to membership in this club because your fellow members believe you to be worthy representatives of your calling, and also to possess qualities that will permit you to exemplify the true spirit of Rotary in your public, business, social, and private lives. I wish to impress upon you that you have been admitted not only to the Rotary Club of Newport, but to a worldwide association. And by virtue of your membership in this club, you will be welcomed into the fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it its duties and obligations. You will be expected to attend the club's meetings regularly, to perform your share of club service, and to place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of the club in its task of carrying the principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. This would be the part where I ask everyone to rise, but doesn't work so well on Zoom, so we'll skip that line. Rotarians Brian and Gretchen, in the name of the Rotary Club of Newport, I now formally admit you to membership in this club and affix to your lapels our emblem. Well, that's also virtual, but I do have some pins and membership stuff and buttons that hopefully we'll get to use here in the near future. Fellow Rotarians, I commend to you our newest members, Rotarians Brian Gardner and Gretchen Habner. Please join me in welcoming them. Welcome. I also have some neat plaques that I will get to you also. So we got some Rotary goodies for you, and I'll find a way to get those to you here in the next couple days. Let's see, other announcements. Let's see, I think Diane was going to talk a little bit about our recent happy hour last week. That was a real success and a lot of fun.
Sure, and I'm going to read Laura's statement, our esteemed Membership Matters Chair. Last Thursday was the Rotary Club of Newport's first virtual happy hour event. We really had a lot of fun. It was a fun evening of trivia, socializing, friendship, and prizes. We had big winners. We gave out $25 gift cards, and those winners were Sunetta Copavilla, Brian Gardner and Gretchen Habner, Richard O'Hearn, and Rob and Amy Thompson. We had a great time in our breakout rooms, enjoying general conversation, talking about post-COVID-19 2019 plans, bucket list items, what we enjoy about the Oregon coast. And we tested our trivia skills with Oregon Coast Trivia, Rotary, and pop culture. We really want to thank everyone who attended and helped organize this event. And we hope to have our second virtual happy hour event soon.
Well, thank you, Diane. And boy, that was a lot of fun. I thought the trivia questions were a little challenging, but aside from that, it was great. Great conversation and a lot of fun. So we'll definitely do that again. Anybody else have any announcements they'd like to share? Always hard to see all the boxes here on Zoom, but I don't see any. I have a few things from today in history. Today in 1957, Buddy Holly and the Crickets record "That'll Be the Day." 1982, a sad day for my grandparents. Today was the final episode of the Lawrence Welk Show. And then 2012, this is a big day for Rotary. In 2012, today, the World Health Organization removes India from the list of polio endemic countries. So that was 9 years ago, and we've been making great progress ever since. So that said, I will throw things over to Bob.
Hello there, Rotarians. And hello, Bob. Come on, come on, come on. I can't hear you.
Hello,
Big Bob.
You're probably wondering where I was last week, and I couldn't make the party, but I think Jim Walker and Ken Riley would have liked to have been with me. I was down in Surprise, Arizona, watching the Mighty Beavers play down there, and what a thrill it was. The Beavs won 3 out of 4. They should have won 4 out of 4. But I'll tell you right now, Guy, and the rest of you Ducks, Beavers are tough this year. They've got some pitching, and we'll just hope it continues. I came home. They went off to, I believe it was Grand Canyon University, and are playing a 4-game series down there now. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. So I think that garbage deal is really good. Or Braceland, are you still here, or they all left? I would like to donate $25, and I'm going to step out of line here, but I'm going to have my son, Rob. He's just looking at me now like I'm some sort of creep, but
that's not true. That's not true. I approve.
Yeah,
I approve.
So he's going to go $25 also, and what a good cause. Yeah. Anybody got any happy dollars out there? Yeah, I'm looking for happy bucks. No special reason. You just got to be happy. You got to have a big smile on your face.
Bob,
I'm
Greg
not
here.
seeing any.
Can you hear me?
Ooh, where?
Greg.
What?
With Sodexo. Hey, I'm $50 happy that we're going to actually have a football season this year. I found out the other day.
Now, I don't know who just talked. You know.
Greg from Sodexo.
Oh, all right. Did we hear about high school yet, or?
Yeah, that's high school.
Oh, okay. So, like Newport, for instance, they will have a football team then.
Yes, we have a scrimmage. Well, we have a 7-on-7 game with Walport. It's all going to be inter-county, but our next Friday is 7-on-7 for everyone, and then we go into full contact.
Now, are you gonna, when you say full contact, that's 11-man football?
It is, unless teams don't have the capacity for the linemen, et cetera. It can be 8-man, it could be 9-man. It just depends on school to school. So they're we're all kind of reaching that agreement right now as we speak.
Well, that's pretty exciting. Good work. Yeah.
It is. They've been working hard since about October. So it's a breath of fresh air for them.
It sounds like it's beginning. Hard work is rewarding. Anybody else with any good news? Happy dollars.
Hi, Bob.
Hello. Who am I talking to?
Stephanie.
Oh, yeah. Hey, tell me something.
Well, I haven't been here since before Thanksgiving.
I noticed.
Well, I was a little under the weather, but I am back up to 100% today.
Oh, good. Well, good. We're happy that you are up to 100%. How happy are you that we're happy?
I am $20 happy.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. Yeah.
And that could go to the kids in their cleanup fund if you want.
Well, by golly, I think Jim heard that, and I got a hunch that's the way he's marking it down.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. It was one thing after another.
Well, it's that time of year, and plus we got that big pandemic hanging over our heads, but
No,
we're
didn't
glad to have you back.
Yep, doing much better.
Good, good. Anybody else want to say anything?
Bob, this is Raina. I'm $25 happy, and I just want to say I was able to do a teacher observation just before Rotary and got to actually be in a class with 15 students. And it was fantastic to see how the teacher was interacting with students both in the classroom and online. It is incredibly difficult, and it was fantastic. So we have 150 students on average every day coming onto campus, being in class, following all safety protocols, keeping their masks on, hand sanitizing. It is incredible. We have about 230 that have signed up to be in person, but we're averaging about 150 actually coming in every day. And so the AM or PM 4 days a week schedule is working fantastic for a lot of families. And we are so happy to have kids back on campus. It was incredible to hear noise and to hear students discussing. And it was just incredible to see students interacting with each other, even though no students had their computers open at the time in class. The students could hear through a speaker and they were discussing, having a full discussion between both in person and at home. So fantastic. We have really starting Monday, we'll have K through 12 on campus for anyone who wants to be here. So it's really exciting.
Well, that is exciting. Well, good work. Good work to Lincoln County School District. We're very, very happy about that. Anybody else? Amy.
Yeah, this last weekend, I attended the Rotary NAEN conference. So it's North American Youth Exchange Network, which I probably would never have gone to because it's usually in places like Washington, D.C. is next year. But I got a chance to attend virtually and I learned a lot more about our exchange program and how it works. And it was super helpful and got to connect with a lot of different people. And I learned that Rotary International, the Rotary International president right now actually got his start in youth exchange. He's had 43 different exchange students in his home. And so he's very determined if we can make our international exchange work, that he wants to see it happen. And they're going to have a decision by the end of March instead of like last year that was in June about how it's going to look. So I'm looking forward to reporting that to you guys.
Oh, well, great. Yeah, we'll look forward to it too.
And I'd like to give $50 towards my Paul Harris.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Amy. That was nice. Keith, you remember these? Remember these? You were going to send them to me on a regular basis? Keith is muted. Unmute yourself, Keith.
Yeah.
Remember
these?
Yeah, you were going to send them to me, remember?
Well, it's still February. Look at it. It says February.
Oh my God.
When you say
right.
March, I'll do that.
Okay, I'm looking forward to March now.
I'll get it to you. I promise.
Details, always details.
Yeah, it's terrible that way, isn't it?
Any birthdays out there? Anybody want to make a confession of a birthday? I'll tell you.
I think a former president that's not here. I think you need to do some. Yes.
Just gonna mention that for good old Howard Adams, the only guy that's been married more times than me. But it's his birthday today. We don't hear much from Howard anymore, but anyway, we'll let that go. If you do get a chance to say, hey, Howard, happy birthday, or give him a call or something, by golly, tell him that Rotary misses him. Anybody else? Well, with that, Freddie, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you very much for your generosity, Rotarians.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob. Nicely done. And I'm sure Howard's in Bend at a brew pub enjoying a birthday celebration. So if anyone sees him, he's got to be at
Tax
least
season, he's probably busy with spreadsheets.
he's got to be at least $50 happy.
Yeah.
All right. So our program today is Students of the Month, and I will let Raina introduce our students.
Thank you. Our first student of the month is Catherine Hartsell. She is the daughter of William and Teresa Hartsell of Newport. She is a 4.0 student who is pursuing the IB diploma. She's a member of National Honor Society, is involved in dance and band. Please welcome Catherine.
Hi. Okay, so as you already know, I'm Catherine. Usually I go by Katie, but that's me. So basically, I've lived here my entire life, and I've gotten to see all my classmates and all my friends, all the people that have been here with alongside me, and I've gotten to see how much they've changed, and it just makes me wonder if I've changed just as much. But that seems to be a common theme, change. This last year has been crazy, as all of us are very aware, but that's old news. At this point, I think I've gotten used to all the change. I'm here preparing for the biggest one of my life. Almost 2 weeks ago, I received my acceptance to Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. Woohoo. And for the first time in my life, I will be living in a new place with unfamiliar people and set on a new path that I have no idea about. Recently, I decided what that path would be. So over the last year of quarantine, I have developed an unusual obsession. I absolutely love shipwrecks. It's one of my favorite hobbies, pastimes, watching documentaries about shipwrecks, building models, all that interesting stuff. I've always been intrigued by the story of the Titanic. You know, that's a really popular story, very famous. But one day I was looking through Disney Plus and I found a documentary series called Drain the Oceans. And now that is almost the only thing I watch. They do a deep dive into stories of some of the most famous shipwrecks around the world. And after watching that, I was hooked even more. And now every new documentary or new story or new newscast I see sends me even further into my unusual obsession. More recently, as I mentioned earlier, I've started to build ship models. So plastic, cardboard, foam, all that good 3D little ship models that I have around my house. And I've discovered that that new hobby has possibly changed my life forever. So now, after building my models and watching all these shows, I'm seriously considering a career in ship design and architecture. So that's basically where I'm going with my life, I guess. After spending my entire life trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a living, my decision was made within a few hours. My path was set. Now, I know that paths change quite often and that not everything works out the way we plan. But thanks to this last year and all the things that have happened, I think I'm ready for anything. I've prepared for this. My parents have prepared me for this, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I'm also eternally grateful that I've had my hilarious brother and my adventurous friends to help me along the way and help prepare me for the rest of my life. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am or who I am today. The same goes to my teachers, all the people at the school. I love them so much. I've been with them since I first started school as a little preschooler and a kindergartner. They taught me how to look at all of life and the problems that it throws at me and make the best of it. And they taught me how to survive in the real world and put my best foot forward every morning. These people have raised me to change the world. And after years of struggle and a few hours of amateur naval architecture, I'm going to do just that. Yay. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next student is Morgan Hanna. Morgan is the daughter of Jody and Brian Hanna of Newport and is also a 4.0 student pursuing the IB diploma. She's also a member of National Honor Society, dance, band, and track. Please welcome Morgan.
Good morning. Growing up in a family of introverts, I tend to stand out with my bubbly and sometimes very loud extroverted personality. Throughout my childhood, I consistently took every opportunity to be around people and feel connected to those around me. So as the coronavirus began to take over the world, I had no idea just how the word quarantine would change my life. For the first few weeks of quarantine, I saw it as a long vacation, a relaxing trip that would come to an end shortly. Much to my surprise at the time, coronavirus did not cease its spread. I found myself walking in circles around my house, searching for my family members. My house felt hollow as my family designated corners of the house for their own company. While I felt alone, they were enjoying quiet time to themselves. I longed for the summer to end with the hope that I would be able to see my friends and classmates again at school. To my dismay, I learned that we would not be entering online classes instead. In the weeks leading up to this moment, I had always felt optimistic about the pandemic and hoped it would resolve itself. After being given this news, however, I felt my optimism begin to slip away. There was no way for me to know when life would be normalized, and I began to feel hopelessness overtake my thinking. I didn't want to get out of bed, and when I did, I watched endless hours of Netflix. I felt like I was losing myself. In the weeks leading up to the start of school, historic wildfires ravaged the West Coast and finally hit Lincoln City and required hundreds of people to leave their homes and evacuate to Newport. As the evacuees congregated at the Newport Recreation Center, I felt the pull to provide any help I could and heard that they needed help serving an evening meal that first night. After helping serve just one meal, the weight of what was going on near and in my community really struck me. When I had awoken that morning, the sky's orange haze and campfire scent hung painfully in the air. However, I hadn't truly understood what the smoke truly meant until I met the frightened and stunned gaze of each evacuee I served. Originally planning to serve a single meal, I resolved to volunteer every day as the week stretched on. I hoped my small contribution would help these families feel loved and cared for. One woman in particular really touched me. She shared how she spent her whole life saving to build her dream home. Due to a rapidly changing housing market, she soon realized that she would not have the necessary funds. Undeterred, she used her money to build a meager 500 square foot home that had now suddenly burned to the ground. So many of the people had similar stories of dreams that had been shattered due to the horrible fire. Over the next several days, I had the opportunity to meet so many wonderful people and connect with them all on a deeper level than I ever had before. After all the evacuees were able to return to Lincoln City, I came to the realization that my own troubles surrounding COVID never entered my mind as I was helping these people. While the fires were a horrible tragedy, I could not remember the last time I had felt joy spending time with others. Throughout this time, so many of the evacuees had smiles and amazing stories to share. Though they had all suffered so much, there was such optimism for the future. While I was focused on all the loss they had suffered, they had their eyes set on the future. This caused me to pause and reevaluate where my focus was in life. It was then that I realized that where I directed my focus, negative or positive, is where my attitude towards life would be. Since I had been focusing on all of my own struggles, I had become blinded to all the wonderful things I had in life. Even though I have continued to be away from family, friends, and teachers, I have also learned that as I lose myself in service to others, I can put my challenges into perspective and continue to live my life in a positive way. I read online about people in another county asking for homemade quilts to be donated for the children who had lost their homes. All I could imagine were the many small children now in my own community pleading with their parents to return home. I realized this small, comforting act of providing blankets could make a world of difference. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I decided to make pillowcases for the child evacuees in Lincoln City with their names embroidered on them. I'm currently working with the principal at Taft Elementary and the LCSD Disaster Recovery Coordinator to make this a reality. I have learned that the best thing I can do to overcome my own obstacles is to step outside of myself and ease the suffering of others. This focus helps me find purpose and face my own challenges with optimism. While I don't know everything my future holds, this community has provided me with vast opportunities to serve and care for those around me. I'm grateful for all of the people who have helped me become who I am and have helped me build a foundation of service on which to build my life. Thank you.
Wow, nicely done, Katie and Morgan. Boy, you both have bright futures ahead of you, I'm sure, and congratulations to your accomplishments here in Newport. Great to have you here today. We've got some nice certificates for you, and Rotary has always been committed to wiping out polio. So as a thank you for speaking, we're also going to vaccinate 50 children against polio in your name. So keep up the good work, and thanks for being with us today. That was great. All right, I will turn things over to Jim for makeups and attendance.
Thank you, President Saxton. I haven't yet applied makeup, so I only have the organic numbers to report. And we have 32 of 59 for 55% or thereabouts. So that's a really stellar meeting today with a lot of great folks in attendance. And it was good to see the guest students and good to see the possibility of that Interact Club getting some energy and taking off. That's really exciting. And I'm glad to see young people in our community working to make our community a better place, not only the students of the month, but also Braylon and Freddie, your daughter, I don't remember their name.
Oh, Alexa.
Amanda?
Yeah, Alexa, and they had, boy, you know, up to 14 students involved in another group like Amy mentioned. So I think our donations today will buy materials for all of them and hopefully bring them together under Interact. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. It's so good to see that kind of energy starting at the young age in our club and in our community. Membership incentive, we have Jeff Outerkirk, and if I'm not mistaken, it's $10 today. Mark, is that right?
I don't know because I'm not home to look at the records.
Oh, okay. Jeff gets about $10.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sonia for the 50-50 drawing.
Okay, so I think we got everybody on here. Let's see. Share screen.
I want to donate.
We've got $55, so the grand prize winner is $27.50. And that is going to be, looks like Freddie.
Oh, wow. I will go ahead and roll that over to those students too.
Wow.
And I think Jeff
I'd
was
like my
mentioned.
10 to go to the cleanup. Sorry.
All right. All right, well, thank you, Sonia. Boy, we really raised some money for those kids. That's awesome. Let's see, John, do we have a social media incentive?
We do, Freddie. We have a lot of activity on our social media outlets, and you are the winner. This is your lucky day. You are the winner of the social media $5 also.
Wow, boy, it is my lucky day. I'll go ahead and roll that one over to the kids too. I'm sure they'll find better way to spend it than I would. All right, well, we're kind of ahead of schedule today, kind of a short meeting. So does anybody have any announcements for the good of the order they'd like to talk about?
Did want to mention to Catherine that in marine architecture, she might want to consider a career with NOAA. I had the privilege of meeting quite a few of their marine inspectors who have a background in that. And last I heard, they were really hurting for people because there were so many retirees. So yeah, consider a cushy government job.
Yeah, that would be nice. Richard, you had something?
Yeah, I forgot to pipe up when Bob was doing the birthdays, but I think yesterday Rotary had its 116th birthday. Is that right? Anybody else see that? Announcement on.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's great.
So happy birthday, Rotary.
Yeah. All right, anybody else have any announcements or comments? All right, well, next week's meeting is Dr. Leslie Ogden, CEO of Samaritan North Lincoln and Pacific Communities Hospital. She's going to give us an update. So Next Thursday is going to be a good one too. Hope to see y'all back for that if you can make it. And I would echo what Jim said. Great to see so many folks on here today. A lot of who we haven't seen for a while, so that was really nice. Let's see. With that, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up a little bit early. And let's see. How about new Rotarian Brian? Would you do the honors in taking us out with the 5-way test?
Yeah, I can do that. Thanks, Freddie. So the Rotarian 5-way test of things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun?
All right, nicely done, Brian. Thank you very much, and welcome to you and Gretchen to the club. We're sure lucky and happy to have you with us. So,
hey, thank you. I wanted to say that earlier. We're very excited. I've been enjoyed being a guest over the last few years, usually with Marcia, and it's really nice to. It's like a nice little positive pick me up every time I got to come in person, and it's been great doing the online Zoom ones for the last few months as well. We really appreciate it.
Well, again, great to have you. And Rotary has been a nice source of inspiration during these otherwise not so inspiring times. So again, great to see everybody on here. And hopefully we can get back to having some good food and fellowship in person just around the corner. I guess we've got to be getting close. So with that, we'll wrap up a little early and hope to see y'all next Thursday.